A national flag is one of the most instantly recognizable symbols of a country's identity. Usually people can tell which flag belongs to which country, especially given the prominence of flags at international sporting events, such as the World Cup and the Olympics. Sometimes, however, confusion can arise when two or more flags closely resemble each other. Here are 9 sets of flags that exhibit varying degrees of similarity. A major factor is simple geography. Countries from the same region or part of the world often share flag features. Neighboring countries are likely to share common cultures, values and histories, as well as shared political or religious heritage. Key colors on the flags of Italy, Niger, Ireland and Ivory Coast have similar saffron, white and green shades. Colors might be similar, but what truly distinguishes the Indian Tiranga is its navy blue chakra, which stands out with its 24 spokes. None of the world's national flags are as closely matched to each other as these two. Their design and size are almost identical, and only a close examination reveals slight shade differences between the blue, yellow, and red vertical stripes. A 7-striped rainbow flag design is used in Peru, Bolivia and Ecuador as a symbol of native ethnic groups and culture, and is anachronistically associated with the Tehuantin-Suyu, or Inca territory. Lag, a piece of cloth, bunting, or similar material displaying the insignia of a sovereign state, a community, an organization, an armed force, an office, or an individual. A flag is usually, but not always, oblong and is attached by one edge to a staff or halyard. The part nearest the staff is called the hoist, and the outer part is called the fly. A flag's length, also called the fly, usually exceeds its width, hoist. The main portion of the flag, constituting all or most of its area, is called the field or ground. In addition, flags often have a design element in the upper corner of the hoist, called the canton, which is distinct from the field. Flags of various forms and purpose are known as colors, standards, banners, ensigns, pendants, or pennants, pennons, guidons, and burgees. Flags originally were used mainly in warfare, and to some extent they have remained insignia of leadership, serving for the identification of friend or foe and as rallying points. They are now also extensively employed for signaling, for decoration, and for display. Because the usefulness of a flag for purposes of identification depends on its blowing out freely in the wind, the material that is preferred is usually light and bears a device or pattern identical on both sides. Wording therefore tends to be excluded, and the simpler patterns are favored. Any colors or devices may be used, but European usage normally follows the practice of heraldry in discouraging the juxtaposition of metal and metal, i.e., of yellow and white, or of color and color without metal interposed. The flag of the Vatican City State constitutes an exception to that rule. Flags recognizable as such were almost certainly the invention of the ancient peoples of the Indian subcontinent or what is now China. It is said that the founder of the Zhou dynasty in China, 1046 to 256 BCE, had a white flag carried before him, and it is known that in 660 CE a minor prince was punished for failing to lower his standard before his superior. Chinese flags had devices such as a red bird, a white tiger, or a blue dragon. They were carried on chariots and planted upon the walls of captured cities. The royal flag, however, had all the attributes of kingship, being identified with the ruler himself and treated with a similar respect. It was thus a crime even to touch the flag-bearer. The fall of the flag meant defeat, and the king would rarely expose his flag and his person together, the flag being normally entrusted to a general. Flags had equal importance in ancient India, being carried on chariots and elephants. The flag was the first object of attack in battle, and its fall would mean confusion if not defeat. Indian flags were often triangular in shape and scarlet or green in color, with a figure embroidered in gold and a gold fringe. If those and the Chinese flags had a common origin in the standards of ancient Egypt and Assyria, standards, in that sense, meaning solid objects, such as metal animals, attached atop poles, then they might have developed from the streamers often attached to the pole. That possibility gains some likelihood from the fact that some Indian flagstaffs were surmounted by a figure similar to that displayed on the flag itself. Mughal royal insignia included, however, other things besides the flag, more especially yaks' tails and the state umbrella. Flags seem also to have been used, in India as in China, for signaling, and there is an instance of a white flag being used as a signal for a truce as early as 1542 CE. Indian and Chinese usage spread to Myanmar, Burma, Siam, No.